It can happen in a variety of ways: on the job, playing sports, or just normal everyday activities. And about 75% of the population has them. Soft tissue injuries. And regardless of how they occur, they can interfere with all aspects of a person's life.
Soft tissue injuries really happen in two ways. One is kind of insidious. It builds up. Sometimes you don't even know it's happening. It happens over time. You get stiffness and discomfort. Or you can have a sprain or a strain. It happens quickly. You know what happens. But the results are similar. You can have anything from stiffness and discomfort and weakness all the way to pain and swelling and instability. At either one of those, though, can affect you doing your normal activities, or even you could lose your job because of these.
A doctor can generally assess your injury and grade it based on the severity of the injury. From there, treatment can vary, and it is not always successful.
For years, we've treated soft tissue injuries the same way. We've used ultrasound, electrical stimulation, various soft tissue manual treatments. The reason they haven't been effective is they don't get to the core of the problem. That's why once you have a soft tissue injury like this, you tend to have it forever. It's really hard to get over it.
The area of soft tissue injuries has been mostly glossed over. Science and healthcare is very competent in certain areas such as pharmacology and radiology. Unfortunately, when it comes to soft tissue, most of the therapies are nebulous and ignore the science behind soft tissue injuries and how and why they occur.
The science of soft tissue injuries is really underdeveloped. Not at all like radiology and oncology, where we put so much time, money, and effort. This is really underdeveloped, but some good research has come about in the last 5 years. Now we're getting somewhere. We're understanding what happens at the cellular level, and that's leading us to some real breakthroughs on how to treat it.
One treatment modality that has proven to be successful in the treatment of soft tissue injuries is called ART, Active Release Techniques.
ART is a completely different way of looking at soft tissue injuries. The reason it's so successful is that it actually gets to the core of the problem. The core is not inflammation, as we've thought for years. It's really hypoxia causing scar tissue and changes the texture, tension, and movement in the tissues. ART is a way to find that with your hands, release it, change those three things so you actually have a solution to the problem.
The injury started in my left shoulder with an aching. That began to radiate down through the arm, into my hand, that started causing tingling in the fingers. And I went to a few other practitioners. Nobody had an answer as to what was going on. Hearing about ART, I went to an ART provider, and within the first visit, he was able to alleviate almost all the pain that would typically be a little aggravating or painful. And again, that took place in the first treatment.
ART has been developed, refined, and patented by Dr. Michael Leahy. Dr. Leahy noticed that his patients' symptoms seemed to be related to changes in their soft tissue that could be felt by hand.
Hands are probably the most important thing in using ART. The reason is it's the only way to actually find these problems in the soft tissues: tension, texture, and movement. You won't see it on an X-ray. You won't see it on an MRI. But that's where the problem is.
By observing how muscles, fascia, tendons, ligaments, and nerves responded to different types of work, Dr. Leahy was able to consistently resolve over 90% of his patients' problems.
If we can learn how to use our hands better, and that's really what we're doing, then we can actually find and solve the problem.
Dr. Leahy now teaches and certifies healthcare providers all over the world to use ART.
In order to take ART, you have to have a pretty good foundation in anatomy and some medical information. So any licensed healthcare provider can take ART.
Lost productivity on the job because of absence due to soft tissue injuries costs companies billions of dollars a year. Active Release Techniques offers these companies significant savings when applied.
An ART program can be started one of two ways, either as a wellness initiative or a first aid initiative. Both of them work. The biggest problem we have is getting a company to realize that they can actually do better, because most companies think they do great. We tracked 130 companies for 3 years and we saved them $527 million. Better yet, the employee production went up, the employees are happier, they're not working in pain.
Soft tissue injuries are no longer something that you just have to live with. Active Release techniques can offer relief for a variety of aches and pains. For more information, contact Active Release Techniques today or visit activerelease.com.